I woke up in a room where 4 men were sitting half naked. I was also half naked. I knew immediately that I had been raped and that it was not over. My name is Isla. I would like to tell my story, to warn women and how to act in very difficult situations. My biggest dream was to become a professional tennis player, and according to my trainers, I had the talent to reach the top. It was the year 2013. To stay in top shape, I went for a run. I went jogging in the park around 1800 hours in the evening. Because it was winter, it was dark early. I used to run 5 laps in the park. It was very quiet outside, when I suddenly saw a car parked in the distance, which I found very strange, because no cars were allowed in the park. When I ran past the car, I looked inside the car and saw 2 or 3 men sitting in the car. When I finished running the next lap, and again I saw the car in the distance, but now there was a man standing next to the car. I couldn't see his face, because he was wearing a cap and a scarf in front of his face, which I found very strange. I looked around to see if there were any other joggers behind me, because I was afraid. Unfortunately, I was alone. I started to run slower when I was almost at the car. The man walked up the run track and now stood in the middle of the run track. When I was a few meters away from the man walked up to me with an aerosol can and sprayed right in my face. I fell straight to the floor and I can't remember the rest. Afterwards, I found out that it was an anesthetic. I woke up in a room where 4 men were sitting half naked. I was also half naked. I knew immediately that I had been raped and that it was not over. Because I tried to escape, I was also beaten and kicked and spat on. There was also a man who kept putting a syringe into me with an anesthetic, which made me often pass out during the rape. When I woke up again, the men were dressed. I then saw a large camera standing in the corner of the room. One of the men spoke to me and said, "You're not telling anyone what happened here. Otherwise we will kill you." Another man said, "Let's kill her and throw her into the sea." In the end, they dragged me to the car and threw me in the car, and left me 1 hour away from my home on a remote industrial site. It was then 4 o'clock at night. I lay there for hours on the ground, because I was still weakened by all the anesthetics I got from the men. When I had enough strength, I walked home bloodied and weakened. When I got home, my father came directly to me and asked where I was all this time. I explained everything in total panic. We went to the police station to report the rape. I got the impression that the police did not believe me and thought that I was voluntarily going with the men. I thought the rape was a nightmare, but the worst was yet to come. Weeks after the rape, I suddenly got messages from people saying I was on Pornhub and sent me the link to the video. I couldn't believe my eyes. The whole rape was on Pornhub. At school, everyone knew about it. When I was at school, everyone looked at me. I've sent over 100 emails to Pornhub about whether they want to take the rape video off the website. I still haven't gotten a response. My whole life had changed in one fell swoop. I dropped out of school. I gave up my dream of becoming a tennis player. I didn't train anymore. My family didn't believe me. I was just devastated. I then ran away from home at the age of 16 and moved to another state, with no money at all. I then started using drugs and alcohol so as not to have to feel the pain and sadness about to make money. I started working as a prostitute. 10 years later, the video is still on Pornhub and the rapists have still not been caught. And I'm a drug addict with an uncertain future. My coach always told me, "You're going to be better than Serena Williams and Maria Sharapova. You are a super talent." We'll never know if I'd really gotten that good. I'm a fighter, but I'll never cure this rape. I want to warn women, if you go out at night, always carry a weapon to protect yourself. This was my story.